And we're live. Hello and welcome to hextothefuture.com as we will cross 5,555 miles for the first time with the Hex DeLorean. Oh, it's so exciting. I can't believe it's all happening. We're going to be meeting up for the US road tour with Abit and Patrick and the other Hex supercars. So let's get it started. What's up, dudes? Okay, so we have to close the door using futuristic technology. All right. Now, that was probably the most exciting part for the audience because really what this is going to look like the whole time is just me holding this while I'm driving very carefully and safely. But as you can see, the DeLorean literally only has 5,505 miles on it right now. And it's going to have 5,555 miles by the end of this live stream. So you can see, it's one of the best preserved DeLoreans, top 5% of all time. It's what the dealership told me. Everything about this car is a little weird. The horn is not here. It's over here. I don't know if you can shine the light there. It's going on, Ash. And then the door to open it, whoa, goes all the way up. So again, this is going to be the exciting part where you can actually see the car. And then the rest of it is going to be just looking at the odometer. Oh yeah, Matty McFly. I've got lots of Back to the Future costumes right now, but this is the one we're wearing right now. You guys are going to be able to see this car in all of its glory throughout the US road tour. But again, tonight, we're going to be driving about 50 miles here in order to cross 5,555 miles. And then that'll be for the 5555 US road tour. All right. Put my seatbelt on here. Safety first. Car does not have airbags because they weren't invented yet 40 years ago. This is a 1981. All right. Anybody behind me? Am I forgetting anything? Oh, there we go. Sweet. I was like, oh no, live fail. But no, I just had to put it into gear. All right. DJ Cryptomatic. I hope this ends well. You can see I got the Hex watch on, not a Rolex, just an Apple Watch that changes between my different Hex things. Wow, I can already tell the audience might be mad by the shaky video. But again, you could listen, you could pretend that this is an audio only stream. We're just talking Hex. What is Hex? Hex is a crypto time deposit. It pays interest the longer you lock and hold up the price. And in this way, you pay your future self. And that's what we're doing here by getting the Back to the Future car, the most iconic car of all time. A lot of people, they think oh, if I get Bitcoin rich, when Lambo, right? When are they going to be able to buy a Lamborghini? Well, I can tell you this was way, way cheaper than a Lamborghini. And it has way less of a dick vibe to it as well. Like, just, you know, Lamborghinis are kind of pretentious, in my opinion. I don't think I would want to drive a car that's worth $300,000 or whatever. So, shout out to everybody out there in the comments. Remember, you can chat up in the live stream. You can ask each other questions, answer each other's questions. You can block anybody who doesn't like the shaky video if you're an admin, um, or just let them chill. But anyway, so yeah, I'm so excited to be doing this live stream, even though it's mostly just audio. I'm excited that everybody in the live stream is going to get to see this historic moment of the DeLorean passing its first 5,555 miles. That's right, this is a 40-year-old car. So let's do some quick maths. What is that? 100 miles a year or something that it drove? Something stupid. Um, so yeah, this car, it's been kept in really good condition, and I'm pretty sure the universe wanted us to use it to market Hex to people who believe in a monetary future that's brighter than the monetary environment we live in now, where the fiat system, where corrupt governments and centralized powers, they lie to people. They are run by corporations. They control the media, and they print money ad infinitum as a way to tax and steal from everybody else's labor. And so in Hex, our fake internet money is better than the government's fake internet money, because at least it's produced by delaying gratification, right? By time locking your money, that's the only way that new Hex is created and paid to stakers. And so when people have an incentive to save for the future and to delay gratification, this is a much healthier monetary system than a monetary system that's based on stealing. Wouldn't you say? So I know I've got a brilliant OG Hexagon in the car with me here who prefers to not be on live streams, which I completely respect. But I do have to thank him because we've been having some extremely interesting conversations and have been seeing eye to eye a lot on our belief that Hex can help change the world and make the world a better place. And so it's always really good to see when I meet new people who are not new to Hex and who have come to many of the same conclusions that I have, but also have ideas of their own that are extremely powerful. So shout out to you, much respect. And shout out to everybody out there watching this live stream, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I know that a lot of you either have already brought a lot of value to Hex or will bring a lot of value to Hex. And so, welcome, cheers, hit the like and subscribe button, stick around. if you want to be part of the future of economics and of probably the global reserve currency will be hex in the future. You know, a lot of people or a lot of different cryptos try to say that, but how many of them monetize the time value of money, right? How many other cryptos embody or have a function that literally stores value over time, right? Bitcoin wants to be a store of value, yet the average holder of Bitcoin time locks for 0 days, not 6 years like in Hex. Well, that's of stakers, but you get the idea. Even if the average holder of Hex is really time locking for what's a tenth of 6 years? 6/10 of a year? That's still infinitely more than the 0.0001 days that's the average in Bitcoin, right? Because believe it or not, you can time lock your Bitcoin. There's a time lock function. It doesn't pay you any interest to do that, but it is possible. So most people don't do it, even though it would provide them a great value because, as we saw today, I think the Bitcoin price set a new all-time high. What that means is if you time locked your Bitcoin, you would have done better than anybody who sold before now. So it's important to understand what the real economic value is of things, where the value comes from, right? Where the price comes from. A lot of times those are different things, right? You know, in Ethereum, where does the value come from? Ethereum's attempting to be a store of value, which betrays its original use case, which was to be a world computer. How can you be a world computer when it costs $100 to make a transaction or to do a computation? Well, you can't. That's pretty clear. That's why Pulse Chain is about to change up the crypto game for good. Because if you're Ethereum right now, you're having an identity crisis. You're betraying yourself. You're lying. Right? Hex is a truth engine. Pulse complements the truth engine, right? But Ethereum, it only betrays its use case because, sure enough, Vitalik could dump the price down to where we could afford to send coins for pennies instead of $50. But he won't do that because there are too many people who buy into the narrative that it's a store of value. Well, it can't be both a world computer and a store of value. But Hex is a superior store of value compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum because it's designed to time lock and to reward those who time lock, right? So, you know, we were talking earlier on our drive tonight, we were talking about how everything requires trust. Even, let's say most people, you know, they're not going to be able to audit the hex code, although you can go to Etherscan and type in hex and then go to one of the tabs that shows you the code. I did this. I have not reviewed every line of the code, although I know more than one person that I trust who has, including Future Us. Many of you know him from the Quanking streams. And I can tell you what my favorite line of code is from the Hex smart contract. And I can tell you which line of code it is. It's line 718. Line 718 of the Hex smart contract tells you the maximum number of days that you can time lock your Hex. And that line of code says the maximum number of days is 5,555 days. And Richard, at the first Hex conference that you can see also on this YouTube channel, he said that the reason he designed Hex to be limited to a 5,555 day stake was to leave meat on the bone for the next guy who would come along and invest. Every time he simulated different design parameters into Hex, he realized that a lot of cryptos are designed to reward people who are early, but not to allow people who come in 2 years into the project to still have massive gains. And we see this in many coins where they go viral and then they have massive price appreciation only for people who are early. Now in Bitcoin, this is not the case. Bitcoin is still showing good price appreciation. Well, for people who got in before I did, before 2017. So maybe people who've been in for 5 years, right? They're having a 60x now. That's not bad. Well, how long did it take for people to get a 60x in Hex? Today, let's say we're at 30 cents. Well, when QuantGang started 40 weeks ago, the price was at 7/10 of a cent. Not long before that, the price was 2 cents on New Year's Eve. And shortly before that, maybe a month before, it was half a penny. So your 60x in Hex, it came probably less than a year ago to now. And guess what? There's still a lot of meat left on the bone because of a number of reasons, because of the excellent design parameters in Hex. So Quattro Cinco, as we call it, or the 5,555 day stake, it means a lot. It has a lot of meaning. It also means there are a lot of people who time lock for 15.2 years and then stick around to enjoy community building, to enjoy educating others, learning about sudden wealth syndrome, participating in Hex conferences, Hex road tours, right? These are people who are staked not only financially, but also their reputations have been staked, or their time and hobbies, right, are all a part of this. And so, yeah, so I think at the end of the day, one of my contributions, I think is not only showing my face, being a public figure in crypto, but it's also to help teach the psychology of Hex and to unravel it, to understand the different psychological factors that we face as a unique crypto community. And so I'm along for the ride too, and that's why I'm making these videos, is to document and explore with the community, to leave a record of things that I've said that can be fact checked, and people can decide that people can verify that I was telling the truth along the way. what things were predicted, what things were surprises, and what we still don't know, right? So here we are about halfway on this 50-mile leg of the US road tour. Now, if you want to follow this story, you can follow me on Twitter. And that's twitter.com/MattyAllin, MATI all in. And then, not really sure what I'm going to do with the website, hextothefuture.com. Right now it goes to my Instagram, and you can find updates about the road tour there too. Right now we're headed to St. Louis, Missouri to meet up with Ibit and Patrick, who have founded the U.S. Road Tour. They've already been to at least 5 or 10 cities here across the U.S. Their last stop was Denver, Colorado, where they were pleasantly surprised to see so many people show up, 10 times the number of people expected. Had about 50 people show up there. Make sure everybody goes to freedomtv.info to look at the schedule of what cities are upcoming and to RSVP for the St. Louis event that'll be here on Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. There's going to be a workshop here in St. Louis. Next stop will be Chicago. Well, there's going to be a Michigan, Southern Michigan, Northern Illinois meetup there with Johnny Chaos coming up here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. And that's also, the schedule can be found at hextour.us, which is my blog. And then you can see if they added it to freedomtv.info yet or not. Shout out to everybody who's watching live right now. I'm driving safely on the road, so I can't be watching all the comments, but I know you guys are probably saying mostly nice things because we already banned all the haters. And because Hex continues to perform so well, you know, it's hard to hate something that pays you 35% APY to be a long-term thinker, to be staked for the average duration of 6 years. Now, if I was you and I was at home, I would consider doing a small stake right now at this moment to be part of history as the Hex DeLorean crosses 5,555 miles. You could be doing a 5,555 day stake. Imagine that when it comes due in 2036. Imagine all the memories we will have had together by then. You may have already come to one of the Hex conferences, like the Hex conference that's going to be happening in Las Vegas on March 6th through 9th of 2022. 369. And of course, the Hex DeLorean will be there. You may have even had a chance to touch it, to have something tangible to see, other than the 15-year stake that you're waiting on at that point. But I would invite everybody to go to hexconference.com and hexticket.com so you can buy your ticket. This 5555 road tour of Crypto Sparbach will be ending at the Hex conference. And so There will be many cities that will be visited before March, and we hope to see everybody in your part of the country or our part of the country or at the conference. The conference already has in between 50 and 100 speakers signed up. And so there's a lot of excitement building. And yours truly, as well as the guys in freedomtv.info, their team, and the Crypto Sparbuck team, Patrick, Abit, and company, and Quant Gang, Kareem, Wales Only, and Future Us. This is the leaders who are putting on the conference, putting our names behind it, and saying that we're going to make it something special for the community. So feel free to check it out. Take a rest stop when we hit 5,555 miles. You know, I'm not sure if there's going to be a rest stop at that exact spot. Probably within 10 miles, I think there is. If we do have a rest stop magically at that exact mile, something cool is going to happen. Maybe we'll get hit by lightning and then we'll become an electric vehicle, like in the movie. Or maybe I will pull over and chug a Mountain Dew and then do a Quattro Cinco steak using tshare.app or using quattrocincos.club, which is a front end for Hex that only does Quattro Cinco steaks through MetaMask. So I'm sure if there's magically a rest stop at that exact mile, I will be shocked. I'll have sudden rest stop syndrome. And I'll do something special for the live stream, but no expectation of the future rest stops of others about that. So we're gonna be setting history here in 21 more miles. What else is there to talk about? Never short on topics when it comes to Hex. So again, I would just encourage people. I keep plugging my Instagram.com/MaddieAllinHex. I spent a bunch of hours doing a really cool graphic design for my Instagram. If you have an Instagram, you can check it out, and maybe you want to do something similar to the design that I used, featuring the DeLorean here. If you don't have an Instagram account yet, maybe you'll be like me before I got mine and like resist and not want to create one. But Kareem and I just made ours here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So you might want to follow our lead and create your own Instagram. You can maybe get a name that's similar to the one you have on YouTube. So we'll be able to find each other and follow each other back. Let's see. I've been traveling all day today because I went back to the Ukraine, as I explained on Quant Gang yesterday. For some of you, it's 2 days ago that we did Quant Gang, but I actually did that live stream for 5 or 6 hours and then did not go to sleep, got on the plane, slept for 2 hours, transferred in Warsaw, Poland, then got on the next plane back to America, slept for about 7 hours, woke up and listened to an old Quanking stream for about 2 hours. Then I landed in Chicago and met up with this OG Hexagon who just happened to be stranded there, who was also going to St. Louis. He's part of the road tour here for the next 6 months. So I was more than happy to pick him up and keep counting my lucky stars, how well everything keeps turning out. Now, am I good over there? Hopefully, I already said. So part of the history of this Hex DeLorean, I was thinking about how cool it is to pay my future self by time locking in Hex. And I was thinking about how cool it would be to join the U.S. road tour that Abid and Patrick have set up. And I was thinking I would only want to spend some of my Hex gains on something that would be a really good symbol for mental health and for the benefits of delaying gratification and paying your future self. So, of course, I thought of Back to the Future and the Back to the Future car. For most people, the daydream would have ended there. But instead, the universe had bigger plans for me and for my contributions to Hex, because I called up my uncle and I said, "You know about cars. What should I look for? How should I go about trying to find a DeLorean?" And most uncles would say, "Yeah, I know about cars, but I can't help you there, Maddie. I don't know how you can get a DeLorean." But my uncle said, "Oh my God, thanks for gifting me $100 worth of Hex back around Christmas, because now it's worth $5,000. And guess what? I go to church with the owner of one of the 3 DeLorean shops in the world, and he'd be happy to meet you." So all of a sudden, it was like a few days later, and I was meeting with Mike, the owner of the DeLorean Midwest DeLorean dealership, and he said, "I have only one DeLorean for sale, and it's in the top 5% best preserved DeLoreans that he's ever seen in his decades working on only DeLoreans." And yeah, he said he had many buyers wanting to get this DeLorean, but he wanted to sell it to me because he heard the story of how I wanted to help the Hex community learn more about mental health. So if you watched the Quanking stream from the other day, you heard me rant and rave and lecture people about omega-3, which is the material that your brain needs to insulate the electrical wires in your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain where you make decisions and think about future consequences and build self-esteem and solve problems. And so when I worked as a therapist for 11,000 hours, I found that this was the best place to start, was to convince people to try omega-3. So if you watched Quanking, you heard me give my pitch, just like I am now, for omega-3. And maybe you got motivated then, or you're going to get motivated now to give it a try. And then in 3 weeks after taking omega-3 each day, you'll be thinking more clearly. It's not like a multivitamin where you just pat yourself on the back and say, maybe I feel better, maybe I don't. No, with omega-3, it changed my life, and a lot of people in the comments whenever I talk about omega-3, they said that they tried it because of watching the Hex stream, and that it's caused them to notice themselves thinking more clearly. And so there's a great testimonial in the video from Quant Gang last night where even future us was talking about how he's thinking more clearly now that he takes omega-3. So I'd encourage everybody to go to your local grocery store and get some omega-3 supplements, or to start eating fish more regularly that contains omega-3. And then, once you believe me about that, maybe I'll be able to teach you a bunch of other cool mental health tricks, right? And maybe all the people who get into Hex or want to learn more about it because of the DeLorean, maybe they will end up paying their future self with more than just time locks, but with healthy behaviors, right? They want us to go 55 miles an hour in this construction zone. It's the perfect speed for going 5,555 miles. Ooh, somebody said they're going to give it a shot. See? Already improving mental health. I love it. This is something that's so meaningful to me, to be able to spread the message of mental health on YouTube, where hundreds of people a day can learn how to be mentally healthy, or how to improve their mental health, improve their financial wealth and their mental wealth, right? Now I'm gonna be focusing here instead of talking. It'd be really bad to crash live. I'm not worried. Okay, so 10 more miles to go. You guys are all going to see history in the making. It'd be really bad if my arm gets tired and then everybody misses it, because I like... Just kidding. I'll take one for the team. So, yeah, what else is there to say? So, it's really incredible to be able to go 15 years with a community, right, that has aligned incentives. This isn't very common for financial instruments, or really any area of society, to have people staking value and then having the incentive to stick together and work together over a long period of time. It's really incredible. I know when I spent some time in Kiev, Ukraine, the first time I went this month, I got to spend some really quality time with a number of OG Hexicans that really meant a lot to me, to be able to spend time with Kareem and Funding Jim, Gary, who put the trip together, and also Steph from Staker app. I mean, these three guys are brilliant. They all have had so many life experiences that make them leaders, make them people, that are just brilliant, people who are fun. You just want to be around them and spend quality time. And so shout out to those guys. And really, I mean, it's been inspirational to spend quality time with Hexicans. This is something that Wales only put very eloquently after he attended the Hexican.Vegas meetup that we put together. he emphasized, if you have not gone to a Hexagon meetup yet, you're missing out. And I know a lot of people, the world has been locked down and you haven't been able to travel. And I hope that changes soon for everybody. I know there are other people who are still wanting to save money to put it into Hex, who are wanting to delay gratification and will participate in Hex meetups in 2023, 2025, right? All the years into the future. And shout out to you all, no pressure to do it now. But for those of you who are sitting on really fat bags and have nothing better to do, you are missing out, and you are more than welcome to join us at any point in our journey here, right? My prediction has always been that people are going to FOMO into this US road tour more than they ever thought. And so I'm really excited to see if that comes true, and I hope that it does, because even the car trip today, talking to the OG Hexagon sitting next to me, has been inspiring, has been worth flying back from across the world where I was having a blast, of course, where I was onboarding people into Hex and, you know, getting to see somebody that I really like, right? Who I flew back for just to hang out with her. And yeah, so all I can say is I feel really blessed to be a part of this community, to be sitting next to OG Hexicans and meeting up with the guys here in St. Louis. Aben and Patrick, they're waiting for us. Well, they might be sleeping, but anyway, they're at the Airbnb that we're going to. And I can't wait to spend more quality time with them. They came out to Vegas for the Hex meetup a little bit early, and I got to spend some time with them there. Really quality people, and obviously that's why I'm joining the tour here. It's because of them, because of all the people that I know I'm going to meet. So, wow, we just have 4 more miles to go. Can you believe it? We're ready to kick off this U.S. road tour. My joining of it by crossing the barrier from the time that this car did its first 5,555 miles to where it will next 5,555 days. Probably won't sell it before then. This car is as much of a stake to me as any of my Hex stakes. This car doesn't pay trustless interest, but it generates interest in Hex, like onboarding people, at least. It generates new Hexicans, I hope. I can't wait until I meet the first person who says, the only reason I'm in Hex is because I saw the DeLorean, and then I learned about Hex, right? Ooh, we're getting close. Am I okay over there? Awesome. See, we have all the luggage stacked up, so I can't see behind me very well. But, we're just a couple of guys who flew internationally to join this tour and kick it off. All right. As the anticipation builds, my foot is resting a little bit heavier on the gas, and the camera is getting a little bit more shaky, so it's filtering out all the people who aren't here for the steady video. But all of you true believers are going to stick around. We've got 2 more miles to go. Ooh, almost down to 1 more mile. Can't wait. As long as it's safe, I think I'm going to have to pull over onto the side of the road when we get to 5,555 miles so I can do that stake. I've already got my MetaMask set up on this phone. I've already got my tshare.app loaded and ready to go. Oh, somebody says the gas gauge is mysteriously adding gas. Um, well, if it was adding any Ethereum, I sure would like it right now, but it's not doing that. Yeah, the gas gauge is a little bit bouncy, but all in all, this car is much more than you would expect from a 40-year-old car. Ooh. All right, getting ready for the countdown. Another tenth of a mile. And we did it! 5,555 miles, baby! Let's go! All right, I'm going to pull over. Wish me luck. Oh, shit. All right, I'm going to stop it on the 5. Like, half of a mile. If I can. There might be a bridge in the way. The other cool thing about this car is people aren't going to be pissed. Like, if they have to move out of the way a little bit because it's a DeLorean, so you just love that you even got to see it. Okay, there is a bridge in the way here, so. Oh, yeah. I think I can. Is that construction up there? All right, yeah, I'm going to go to the other side of the bridge. Bang, bang, baby. We did it. Ooh, there we go. All 5s. Woo! Count it. All right, I'm going to put the warning signals on. Warning. We're about to do a 5,555-day stake live. Unless it won't let me switch screens, and then I'll be doing it, and everybody else will just be sad. Right now, we have 51 people watching. I would really love 52. We need 3 more people to join. Now hit 88 miles per hour and go 15 years into the future and report back. Yo, the joke's on you. I already went to the future and bought this car, and it only cost like 2x. Yup. And then I came back and pretended like I bought it now. All right. We're getting this a little bit more in focus. Oh, yeah. Look at that. All right, everybody. You can say that you celebrated the moment. Now I just don't even want to drive anymore. We're done. We're going to stay here for the night. I'm just kidding. This is so amazing. That car is expensive in the future. Everybody's like, yeah, 2x is worth way more than the car should be. You should make NFT tickets for the expo. That's right. Yeah. Not sure if we want to reward that behavior or not, but I can tell you that the tickets are on sale now. Call a tow truck and leave it on 5555 for life. I like that idea a lot. At the same time, though, we don't want to like worship the car. We want to drive it, and so that's kind of one of my attitudes about actually driving it here and there until it needs to be trailered around more. Let's see. So thanks. Oh, we have 54 people watching. So thanks everybody for being part of history. We just hit 55 people live. Of course, there's probably hundreds of people on the replay. Now, if you can still hear me, I am going to actually do the stake. He went back to the day he staked his 5555. So, if people can still hear me, Yes, I did a Quattro Cinco steak for Quattro Cinco days. So I just sent 5,555 hex to my future self, 5,555 days into the future. At the same moment, I drove the DeLorean 5,555 miles. And if that's not enough to end the stream on, then I don't know what is. So thanks, everybody. And we will see you in the future. Stake wisely, my friends. Take care.